Hi YouTube, I am Momo back to you with another interview. I'm sorry for the lack of interviews recently. IC is finally over and congrats to Anubis for winning the tournament. For today's interview, I have with me Galaxy Racer Esports representing Emirates. So I hope you guys have fun watching and enjoy. Hello guys and welcome to Momo Interviews. Congrats on getting fourth in the IC tournament. Let's start with a small introduction. Chimpanzee?
Hello everyone, my name is Saeed, but everyone calls me Chimpanzee. I am from Palestine, but I lived my whole life in UAE. I was born and raised basically in UAE.
Okay, nice to meet you. Alimo?
Okay. Limo here. My entire life I've been known as Limo. I mean, honestly, I don't remember the last time someone calls me by my real name, other than when they're trolling me and they're close friends. Anyways, the story about how I got my real name is very funny and it's connected to gaming and everything. The first net cafe I went to ever was I was like around 7, I don't remember, something like that. And the guy asked me, "What do you want me to put your username as that? Username and password." I told him, "What's the username?" He's like, "Just anything. Just tell me. Okay, tell me what's your real name." I said, "Muhammad Ali. That's my real name, and barely anyone knows." He's like, "Okay, I'll just shorten that to Alimo." I'm like, "Okay." So ever since then, I just went everywhere, Alimo, 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 Alimo. And the funniest part is he told me, "You need your passport." So I went to my dad. I said, "Daddy, Daddy, I need to give him my passport. Where's my passport?" My dad's like, "Why? What the fuck is the necessary? Like, why would he?" And then he's like, "No, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bro. Don't worry about it." Yeah, young times. Ugh. Anyways, yeah. My real name is Muhammad Ali. I'm Persian, Iranian, in other words. I've been I came to UAE at like maybe 5 years old, and I've been here ever since. So yeah.
Okay, nice to meet you. So guys, other than gaming, what do you do? Are you currently studying or maybe working?
Me personally, I have a thing or two like side businesses, but no, I'm not studying. Like ever since I finished high school, I did not enroll in a university. I've been doing like some here and there small businesses on the side with my dad and everything, but mostly right now I'm mainly focused on gaming.
Okay, so basically your current job is gaming.
Yes, yes, yes.
How about
Basically,
you?
almost you can say full-time gaming. Yeah,
Full-time.
full-time like esports, League of Legends. Yeah.
All right. Chimpanzee?
I'm currently studying computer science in American University of Sharjah. Hopefully it goes well.
Okay, hope
How's your
so.
grade?
It's doing
How's your
fine, don't
grade?
worry.
Is it better or worse ever since you joined the little
Kinda the
team?
same.
Is it the same? Okay, nice.
Impressive.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, Chimpanzee is such a the one thing I can compliment about him, like about his personality. He has a hang of like his life. Every time when he comes, he's like, "Okay, guys, I have to study from this time to this time. We have scrims from this time to this time. After that, we will go through with the VODs." And like he's very like organized.
Disciplined?
That's what I love. Yeah, very
Yeah.
disciplined and organized.
Well,
That's
respect somebody.
See, I'm
something very
smurfing.
exactly.
I'm
Smurf.
smurfing
Exactly.
Errol.
Nothing in real life.
So guys, let's talk about Galaxy Racer. When did you join the team? Were you with them before the tournament or was it for IEC specifically?
So basically, it's a bit of a short story, but how we joined
love
as a team
stories.
is first of all,
I
you love
love
story. Okay,
stories.
you're in for a ride then. I'm not sure if you know there was a girl gamer tournament in Dubai last year. Last year or the year previous? I think last year.
No, it's last year.
2019.
Sometime last year.
2019.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, exactly. Not 2020, 2019. Um, So there was a girl gamer tournament, and the last minute, my girlfriend, currently still with me, she was like trying to look for a team and trying to get into the tournament of girl gamer esports. And she got into contact with Paul, which is our owner, CEO, and they made the first MENA girl team, League of Legends team. So at that time, and then fast forward like 1 month or two, they went and they did the tournament and everything, and I was really inspired by her, like seeing how someone from Middle East can get into something international. Like that was the first step, and it was like it was a big step for the whole region at least. Even before, like the Nexus Arabia and all those weren't as international as we would like it to be in MENA. Like maybe IC2, let's hope it's going to be like more, as big as what we hope. But yeah,
So.
I mean they did a very good job, to be honest. The first
Nexus was big. It was kind of.
Nexus was before IEC.
Yes.
Nexus Arabia. It was like a version of IEC, but before then, it was LAN.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's how I got to meet Paul through my girlfriend. She was the captain of the girls' team. She still is, and they still play. And I met Paul there, and like we just spoke a little bit about it and everything. And then after a while, Paul also I got into contact with Paul, saying that okay, we want to make a team for MENA as well, like males. See what you can do. First, it was a MENA team, like Middle East, not UAE. So whoever we can have. We had a different roster at the start. It was like 1 month before IAC starts, we had a different roster, but we didn't know IAC is happening and everything. We didn't know the rules and everything. They still didn't go public. We were practicing, we were scrimming, and it was going really well. Honestly, it was it was an amazing first time experience. With their organization and everything was perfectly like going good. At that time, we were looking for coaches, different type of coaches, different staff members. Like it was still the first step for Galaxy Racer. Like I remember their Twitter page was literally created when I was there as well. Like, you know, they had 0 followers, and now they have like over like 250k or 300k, something like that.
Yeah.
It's like insane. Anyways, it's been like 1 year only, by the way. Like it's crazy the rate that it's increasing.
So like Galaxy Racer, like the MENA
Yeah.
team, or overall the organization?
Overall, the organization.
Oh, overall
The
the
organize- the
organization was
first
just
staff-
created 1 year ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Actually,
It's
6
crazy
months
how-
ago.
Yeah, and like it started like 1 year ago, and it got serious maybe 6 months or so ago. It's not that big. It's very as a time, as an age, it's very young, but it grew so fast that everyone thinks it's been there for like the last 5 years or 10 years.
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
It's amazing. To be honest, being a part of it is amazing.
So they agree.
Anyway, so we got a team and everything was going good, and then IAC said that we need to find players like local. So all 5 members have to be from the UAE, at least residents.
Yeah.
So 2 of our members, or 1 of our members at the time, weren't from UAE. They were from outside, like Egypt and from other places. So then our team basically almost like collapsed, and we had maybe 2 or 3 weeks to come up with a new team to enter IAC, and we did not want to miss the IAC. What you call it?
Yeah.
IAC opportunity. It was such a big thing, and missing it would be would be unfortunate.
Yeah.
So we made a team. We started trialing different players and everything, and through like a couple of friends and everyone we knew each other, we got this team together. So we got together maybe like 1 week before IAC started, and that's where this team started. That's the origins of the team, and yeah, maybe 1 or 2 weeks maximum before, maybe 1 week. I think we formed
1 week.
officially.
I think pretty sure 1 week.
Yeah, but we didn't get our we were basically in the trial period for that time with Galaxy Racer. After we qualified from the UAE, we got signed officially and became under the organization officially. That was the story of the MENA team and Galaxy Racer in general.
Oh, okay.
It's crazy, to be honest.
Yes.
For the age far they've come, yeah. And to be honest, like from someone who's inside the company, I can tell you, like every year is gonna be 10 times more crazy than the last one. Like from what I've been hearing, and
Yep.
everything I've been hearing so far came to life. So it's nothing. Nothing surprises me anymore.
So no empty promises, I'm assuming, from this organization.
No,
Nope.
not so far.
Not so far. Can you tell me what are the advantages that you get playing with such a big organization?
Champagne, you want to go ahead?
It's fine. You can go. I said after.
Because you got some advantages that I would like
Oh,
to say,
mostly, yeah.
Okay, tell us. Champagne.
Myself, yeah. Like for me, I think when I started, it was like I was new to the scene, the whole scene. It was like IEC was my 3rd tournament. So basically, what happened is playing for such a big organization gave me I would give credit to our coaches because they helped me a lot to go through a lot of stuff. Our first 5 games, I was like full panic mode. I'm scared to play my own play style. But after the first 5 games, I think Alimo, as you can see him, he went full maniac mood on me. Why are you not playing your own style? Why are you scared to play the game? Just play the game, show your own skills, get over your fears. Otherwise, you won't get enough credit for what you're doing. Because I was super scared at the start. And playing for with the limo and our coaches, staff, just helped me way too much on moving this obstacle away from my ahead of me. So I think I would give credit to Alimo and our coach staff for really helping me to improve in no time. Basically, they had 3 weeks to help me to improve from being a scared support, respecting every other player for no reason in game. I'm just scared to play against you, or I'm super scared to take a step in and do the engage just because I'm afraid to fail. They removed this obstacle from ahead of me. And one thing I would like to credit our coaches also, like I don't think it will happen. I won't even make it. From my side, my worst role is jungling. But however, I had 1 week, I think, 1 week and 5 days to pull this off. I would give credit to
We're gonna talk about
both
that.
coaches. Yeah, just like I will give you a small glimpse. It's just like I think most of the things goes to both coaches, Charlie and
Well, I want to ask you, by the way,
Evan,
you said
Evan.
coaches. How many coaches do you have?
We had at the start. We started with like first of all in the UAE qualifiers, we didn't have a coach. We were like
Yes.
juggling between here and there. We were trying out different coaches, and in the finals around that time, we got in contact with Evan, which is our coach right now, main coach, head coach. And I mean, he suits us very well. Like he's such an intelligent human,
Yeah.
in my opinion, and like he understands a lot about like the way about MENA and everything, because he used to live here also for a while
Yeah.
in Dubai, and now he's in Australia. So he knows a lot of like the struggle to go through the ping and all the small stuff that the other coaches, like all the worldwide coaches, wouldn't know.
How much is your ping,
Yeah.
by the way?
130 to 140.
Yeah. So it's
Optimal
best
is
days are 120, worst days are 150. Best days are
Yeah.
120, worst days are 150.
So
So 140 is that.
the whole tournament you were playing with 120.
Yeah.
Yes.
One,
135.
120
Because the games was like in 8 a.m. when everyone using the internet, so it's mostly 135.
respect, honestly. And like
Thank
you
you.
climb in solo queue with such a bad ping.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
struggling with 60.
So exactly. So like having someone as a coaching staff and someone who's experienced our ping and change to another ping, like someone who knows the small stuff that goes through the pings is very important. And to be honest, he's such a smart guy, and like a huge credit goes to him for getting fourth. Like I don't think it would be possible without him or any of the other players.
Yeah.
But I think after like when we started split 2, we got an analyst, which is Charlie, which helped which helped Evan in like drafts, in like our early game, like our positioning, what we can abuse from different teams, the small stuff.
Yeah.
Basically as an analyst. Yeah, but throughout the entire tournament, we basically were with after the first like qualification, we were with Evan.
Okay, so you had a coach and an analyst, basically.
Yes. And there is also some individual coaches if you want to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, here's the part that you asked, what's the benefits of being with such a huge organization? Like whatever we needed, let's say like if one of us wanted the keyboard, like we wanted to buy a new keyboard, Chimpanzee got a new keyboard.
Yeah.
If one of us was
You want me to show it?
missing,
Go ahead.
you can show it. I mean,
Which brand? Sponsored, by the way.
yeah, exactly. It is sponsored, I think, from Galaxy Racer. But
yeah, tell us which
So-
sponsors you have for the team, for example.
that I have to check with the organization. We don't deal anything with them. It's just like an organization. They have
Okay.
the sponsors.
But whatever you need.
So
you just
individually,
tell
we're
them.
just under Galaxy Racer.
Yeah.
We're just under Galaxy Racer, yeah. So like, let's say when we want a keyboard, they send us a keyboard. If we want a headphone, they send us a headphone. So if we ever wanted like individual coach with anyone, they would provide that. So basically, we were covered with every direction, and we had a manager that was amazing, Nicole. I am sure you've heard of her. Wolf
Nicole,
is her
yes.
nickname. Yeah, she was amazing. She handled like the stuff that get in contact with the admin, do this, do that. She helped us a lot, to be honest, as well. Like all the staffs in Galaxy Racer, like it was such a crazy environment that I can't even describe how well it was. Like because I've been in esports, at least in Dubai, for as long as I remember, like when there were like maybe I've been to maybe 100 different tournaments, LAN tournaments in Dubai, and there is 1,000 different promises I heard from different organizations, and none of them stood up to what I'm experiencing right now. So I've been sponsored, like mini sponsored by different net cafes, by different. I'm not going to name them, but yeah, they weren't as they weren't as on time or like as willing to do everything for the players. They're just like saying, okay, we'll handle it. If you can get so far, go ahead. But to be honest, like they never let us down. Galaxy Earth never let us down. Whatever we needed, at least with like.
Yep.
Let's say someone was missing a headphone, someone wanted to change keyboard, so they provided everything with coaching, with everything.
I wanted
Yeah,
to
but it's
know,
insane. It's great.
do you get
Sure.
does Galaxy Racer have a gaming house or no?
They are planning for it, but for us, not yet.
Not yet.
But they've been planning for it for a while,
Okay.
and they don't usually come up empty on promises. So let's
Okay.
let's be looking forward to that.
Inshallah.
Yeah. But we didn't play at all in a gaming house during the IEC. If that's what you.
Yeah.
That's
All right. So now let's talk about IEC, the tournament, and let's talk about Split 1. How many teams played in the qualifier in UAE, and how is the overall level of the teams and players?
I think it was around 50. I think around
50 to
50.
80.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly.
I'm pretty sure it's
50 to
50.
80.
Okay, how is
Oh, no, I think it's.
don't know. I take champagne.
I'm pretty sure it's the exact number is 49 team. I'm pretty sure it's around 50.
Okay.
Okay.
However,
So
like,
yeah, that was.
I think
Go ahead.
we went in the quarterfinal. I mean the qualifier. I think we were so confident that like we will get the first place at the start, because like we knew like in UAE basically, all the players knows who's the best players in the region. So we basically combined this team in who's the best in his role. I'll just combine them all together.
Mm-hmm.
So we knew, in theory, we will get the first place. But like, we gave every team the benefit of the doubt that they might beat us. So I think, in general, in the qualifiers, we tried our best to just qualify. But we had no coaches at the start, since, as Alimo mentioned, we had to try out the coaches and the staff. So it was kinda we used to grief our draft and counter ourselves just because we are confident in these champs. And we play it like from one step behind. However, we always overcome this bridge, and we succeeded, I guess. So we qualified.
So you
with countering ourselves.
So overall, you were expecting to win the qualifier Split 1.
Definitely.
Okay.
I mean, there is other players that we know about. Like Mystic is one of the other teams in UAE.
Rivals.
Like, really, they're a really good team. And so when this team came together, like almost like maybe 4 of the players haven't been playing League much before that.
Yeah.
Like we stopped and took a break, a very long break. Especially me, I took like maybe 1 year break from League. It was like a very big break. Yeah. So once we came back, we knew they're going to be a challenge. But to be honest, like me as a person, I don't go in anything. If I think there's a chance of losing or any like defeat, I just don't do it then. If I don't have the confidence, I just don't do it. So if I went, even the IC2, like it will sound bizarre to everyone, but I genuinely thought like we're going to win. But then we got to a phase and then I just accepted reality, like slowly, that, okay, we might not be able to win. Let's get whatever we can before, let's get as high as we can.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when the Split 1 started, at least, I was really confident that we can 100% win because we scrimmed a couple of teams and it was looking very good. It's just that the other teams were so much on the same page, and like us being a new team, it was like,
it hurt.
It showed so much after a while. Like we had to come up with different new ideas or inventions to just win games. They could just win by just being a team and knowing how to play together. Like we had so much in problems. Like by problems, I mean like one person not knowing what the other person wants to do, or like different calls happening at the same time. Like these things happen, like fix over time, but we didn't have time to fix it. We were in a limited time, so we we just became creative. Okay, role swap. Okay, do this. Okay, then do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just have to find different ways to win the game. It was very honestly. Congrats to like our coaching staff, like exactly Evan and Charlie, that they even allowed us to do this. Like it was a suggestion like from everyone, and they said, yeah, go for it. It sounds amazing, and it worked out. Like we beat DV for it, right? We beat DV with a surprise.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about that later. So what did you do to prepare for Split 2?
Split. Can someone remind me when Split 2 started? Because my memory is really bad.
I forgot.
Split 1. Okay.
think
For
it's in
Split.
October.
Okay.
Well,
No?
Split
No,
2
it's
is-
November.
Split 2
20.
is
I mean
the one-
dates.
November.
Dates doesn't help me. I'm talking about like specifics. Well, I think. Go ahead.
Split 2 is the one you played versus the teams from each country for the first time.
Oh,
That's
wait, that was Split 2?
Yeah.
Wait, I
Okay,
thought
okay,
Split
okay.
2 is the second
I
phase.
No.
thought exactly. I thought Split 2 was the second phase of that. So that's
Yeah, my
Split 3.
bad. Yeah.
Okay, guys, there's 3 splits. I'm gonna teach you. There's Split 1, the qualifier.
Thank you
from
for
your
teaching us the
country.
tournament well. Anyway.
From your country, you won the Split 1. And there's Split 2 where you played versus each country from the best team from each country. They won versus Anubis, Divine, Vendetta, Fox Gaming. And Split 3 is the one you played versus DV and EGZ. and Fox
Quarterfinals.
Gaming. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Quarterfinals. So now we're talking about
I got
Split
it.
2.
Split 2, okay. So basically, Split 1 was mostly finding ourselves, like finding our coaching staff, finding who we're going to be suitable with, finding like our champions. Like at that time, I remember I just rerolled. By the way, I was a support main when the tournament started. I rerolled to jungle.
Yep.
And I was just finding which champion I'm going to be playing. Like first, I played maybe. Who did I play?
Volley,
yeah.
I think.
played
Yeah,
Shyvana,
Shyvana,
and then-
Volley.
and then I played
Fiddle.
something, and then I got to Fiddle, and I loved Fiddle. I started spamming Fiddle. Anyway, so like we still didn't know what we are good at the role, so we were learning ourselves at least from Split 1. After the ending of Split 1, we had a bit of break, and once the coaching staff got with us and like he told us, okay, you can, if you like this champion, you can go ahead and do it, practice this, do that, and there were so many things that we thought were like that we can get away with and we couldn't get away with. Like the coach like made us understand that okay, not everything is just based off solo queue, because we were mostly like still learning the game on solo queue based, not as a team.
Yeah.
So he made us learn how to play the game as a team mostly. And while that was happening, we were scrimming I think 5 days a week and 3 hours a day, something like that.
Yep.
So we were scrimming a lot. We were scrimming a lot against like master teams, grandmaster teams, diamond teams. Sometimes it depends whoever we can get as a scrim partner. So yeah, we were scrimming a lot, and we were playing a lot of solo queue at that time, and we were trying to like find the champion that fits for us. That's basically what was happening for Split 2.
Split 2.
And to be honest, personally, I'm a very sore loser. So every time we used to lose a game, I used to get very triggered, and I think Chimpanzee can.
Oh my god!
Like, I would rage to everyone. I would rage to myself as well. I would like, guys, what's this? We put all this time, and the basic sore loser stuff. Just because I like it's more like the expectations I had from the guys, And honestly, to be honest, in the end of it, I'm really proud, like from what they got. But I'm disappointed in like my own performance and that we couldn't win more. That's what I can say basically from Split 2 onwards.
Overall, what do you think of your performance in Split 2?
Worse than I would have liked it. I mean, the entire tournament, worse than I would have liked it. I mean, I would give myself the benefit, I guess, of not being able, like, just getting back into the game and not being as on my level, but still, like, there's no excuse to it. It's just could have been played better,
Okay, yeah. So let's talk about Split 3, the IEC finals. This was in live preseason patch. How did it affect you? Did it benefit you, or quite the opposite?
To be honest, benefiting or not, I think it benefited us. To be honest, like everyone had a new playing ground to like learn, and it was like basically a chance to be ahead of the game. If we get to play enough and like scrim enough, we would know the meta better than others, and so far and so forth. But I think it just shook everyone. Like out of the blue, it's happened, so it helped us a lot. At the same time, we were just confused to what we were going to do. Okay, so after that happened, when the tank meta became in jungle and like support meta became basically all of the mandate.
It's
improvement date was such a
10.23.
high.
Patch 10.23.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
so,
So when
yeah.
that thing happened, we were like, I was. So Chimpanzee is more like the tank engage supports, like Nautilus,
Yes.
Leona, Rakan. That's his signature champions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And before I rerolled jungle, my go-to supports were like Janna, Morgana, Lulu. They're basically the peel supports, the peel and not Leona and Nautilus, like the one that's against that, right? So
Mm-hmm.
the meta just so happened to be perfect for me to reroll to support, and Chimpanzee already knowing like the tank engage supports. I don't know if you've seen his Amumu. It was like he flashed into 5 and ulted. Like it was crazy. Like he's already used to it, so it's just learning the champion now. So it was perfect time for us to reroll, but at the same time, it was so much pressure learning everything again. Like we were learning a new game basically in 1 week. We had 1 week to learn a new game, and we pulled it off honestly. And even against EGZ, I'm proud that like we got the respect of getting different bans out of them, like even after the reroll.
Yeah.
Like they respected the reroll and like they started banning for the reroll. So it's good that to see that in 1 week we could have achieved something like that if we just learned the meta faster.
So basically, the role swap was because of the new patch, because it suits you.
Mostly, yeah.
Yeah, mostly.
It was that. And also at the same time, we wanted to like, we were finding a different like way to play the game. To basically the way we were playing the game, we weren't as consistent, right? So we were trying to. The main reason was okay. So the reason the coach said that it's perfect is because I'm the shot caller of like mostly there is no like main shot caller, but there's like everyone gives their intake of the game, but I'm the most who's vocal. The most one who's vocal is me. And then he said that when we scrimmed a couple of like blogs, he's like when you support you talk like way more and way more with precision. You have more control over the map and everything. So he said it's gonna help the team way more if you go support and then playing jungle, because jungle you're constantly thinking of where to gank or whatnot, right?
Yeah.
So the scrims went very well, honestly. The first couple of blocks went insanely well, and we were expecting like a very good result, and we got the good result against DV. To be honest.
Actually, I want to talk about that. Like you guys ranked 6th in the, which put you to play versus DV, and everyone was expecting DV to win, like including me. And
we were. I mean, DV was almost like the tournament favorites, right? They were like top 2 for everyone.
Yes, they were. But you guys
After
made
the performance in the split 2.
Mm-hmm.
You guys made the upset and secured the win. Like, were you expecting that win? Despite all the
To be honest, again, if you ask me after that game, yes, I thought we have a very high chance. I wasn't expecting like 100% win, but I thought we have a very high chance of winning.
Yeah.
And I thought if we would win, it would go to 3-2. Did it go to 3-2? It wouldn't to 3-2,
Yeah, it was
right? Or 3-1?
3-2.
3-2.
You guys went
3-2, yeah.
3-2.
So yeah,
it was
I expected it to be like not as easy, but it was definitely like a high chance of winning. Like I genuinely thought if it would be. I don't know about the other players. It's just I think it's. I just have overconfidence. If you ask me anything, I would just say yes. If I'm gonna win the next IP, yes.
I think what like helped
Chimpanzee?
us.
Yeah.
I think what helped us is the most is like caught them by surprise with the role swap, and their coaches has to adapt. I think this what mostly helped us.
The role
Like
swap.
they had to adapt to what Alimus can play and what Alimu can play. What can I play and what Alimu can play.
Yeah.
This is like what a bit helped us in draft. So I think that was, I think like from our coaching staff, I believe we won most of the drafts. We won it, but like in game we a bit griefed it by being super aggro as we are
And
known.
I want to talk about that. Like, what was going through your mind after the first defeat? It was a
To be
Oh.
honest,
We were laughing
I
actually.
I remember exactly. I'm not gonna say exactly the words I said to them. I made a reference, guys. Okay, so basically this was a quick game. Let's make the second one slow, but let it hurt. I'm not gonna say the specific words because I don't think it would be appropriate.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was exactly the mindset. Like everyone was just laughing it off, and everyone knew that we played very poorly the first game, and it wasn't the draft. It was nothing. Like it was just personal mistakes that like we knew
Yeah.
the second game is not gonna be like first at all. Like everyone was on the same page at least that one.
Okay, so the first game didn't affect your mental at all.
Yeah, for me, I am a super chill dude. You can ask Kalimo. Like even if I go like 0-15, I'm playing the game. I'm enjoying it, whatever. So, like, for me, like, it's so hard for me to tilt in like actually in competitive game. It's so hard for me like to specifically tilt me, to aim for tilting me. It's so hard.
Well,
So,
how
like,
about you?
For the first game, I was legit winning like going into the second game, I was super chill. Just told them, just pick me a Mumu, and don't worry about the result.
Yeah.
But
That
you
was
were
like
the star
second.
loser, so I was expecting you to tilt. No.
No,
I mean, okay,
for
yeah,
me,
yeah, exactly. So that was one of the
yeah,
games. It was so surprising to me. That was one of the games that I actually did not tilt at
he
all.
didn't
Like,
tilt. I
it's
was actually surprised.
so I don't know. Like, I think my mentality is like, if we were so close to winning and we threw it of something stupid, then I would be so much like in
Yeah.
such a worse mood than I was. Like, I understood that everyone just fucked up and like we lost the game because everyone like there was no chance of winning that game. So I don't know about that one, but that one didn't affect me at all somehow. But yeah, I have a very bad. I mean, not in the best of fives generally, but when we lose a best of one after the game, I pretty much run out of the call and I
Yeah.
just start fighting with myself in the mental and yeah. I mean, many times you can ask the team. The coach comes in and like, "How are you guys feeling?" I'm like, "Coach, don't say a word. I might say something you don't like, so just calm down. Talk after 1 hour." Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a competitiveness. I take it too
I mean,
serious for some reason.
no one like hate winning. Like
Okay.
winning,
Yeah,
just
obviously,
losing.
everyone likes losing.
Losing is just it hurts. Losing is hurts.
Yeah.
Well, I guess there's a nice balance between you guys. There's chill support, and then you're very tantrum.
Exactly.
Well, what was your reaction after you won the fifth game? Especially that it went so long. Like it was 5 a.m. for you, right?
Yeah. I
Tournament.
mean, I have something. I have a
Surprisingly,
secret to tell you.
we peak at 5
That
a.m.
basically helped us. He can say that. It basically helped us more than you think because everyone's sleep schedule was all over the place. They wake up at like 9
Yep.
p.m. and sleep at 6 a.m. So that was basically our schedule. Like, but
Our
me,
peak
not
time.
me, but the rest. Like Greedy, maybe Chimpanzee, I'm not sure, but Kevin, yeah, so many of the guys. That was their sleep schedule. So they're like, okay, guys, we're just warming up. Let's go, keep going. You know, it was such a funny thing. And surprisingly enough, maybe half the tournament games 2 or 3 of our players like are asleep. We have to wake them up
Yeah.
like 10 minutes before the game. So yeah, the performance affect a lot. So I don't know. It's the sleep schedule helped us only in DV. The rest were like all bad for us because
Yeah.
they just wake up and I'm like, okay, go get your coffee, come. Yeah, it was kind of funny.
For me, like the schedule was like I had to shift my uni work and the tournament game. So I shifted the uni instead of the gaming. So what happened is I did my uni work first, then played the game. I usually do like my uni work after 12 to 12 to 5, then I sleep. So what happened just like it's just a shift that I just skipped that and played.
Wow.
So it was like my zenith. At this time, it was my zenith time to just play the game.
And I'm guessing that was the best sleep you ever had, guys. After winning that best of five.
True.
I mean, for me, it was such an awkward thing because I went to a friend's house at that time and I was playing from a friend's house and it was so like unfamiliar to me. Like maybe 1 week before the match against DV, I went there and I started practicing a little bit. And it was just so awkward. So like sleeping there at times, it was like, when you don't sleep in your own bed, it's kind of tough. Sometimes I stay awake till like 6, 7 a.m. And yeah, my sleep was all over the place. But that specific day, I remember somehow miraculously, my sleep was good, but the tournament took way longer than I expected. So I was wishing that, okay, my sleep should have been fucked up today. Why isn't it fucked up? Yeah, it was such a roller. And after that, I think, me and my friend and a couple of friends were gathering there, but these guys couldn't come because of COVID. We just threw like a semi-party, I guess.
That's nice.
Yeah, just enjoying time. Yeah, it was nice. It was a nice night for me, at least.
Well, I actually want to apologize to my brothers. They take a day off because of me.
Oh,
The game versus EGZ, you guys lost 0-3. What happened?
it's funny. I don't know how to explain it, but okay. So we thought DV would be such like 10 times harder than EGZ for us because we've faced EGZ like in split 2 and the game was like crazy close. The split 2, not the split 3. It was crazy close and we just threw the game. I don't remember exactly the specifics, but I'm pretty sure that happened. Like we were winning the game and just we threw it for no reason in split 2. And then but when we played against DV, they like kind of had the control over the entire game. So like it was obviously winning. So we were way more afraid of playing against DV. Not afraid, but like we thought like there would be way more of a challenge than EGZ. And apparently it was the opposite way around. I mean, to be honest, against EGZ, I want to talk for like the team. I think everyone has the same idea against EGZ and Fox. I mean, to be honest, Fox, we were more like having fun and like taking
Yeah.
it. When you don't have a spot for first, then you're just playing for the just playing for the sake of playing and enjoying the game,
Yeah.
not get mad or something. Anyways, but against EGZ, we were like we played extremely bad. Like mechanically, we misperformed a lot. Like I think everyone can agree that if it was on a different day, on a better day, we would 100% win. But obviously, kudos to them, they defeat us. But I genuinely think like it wasn't a decision or something like that. It was just like most of the guys were having bad days, and it was happening back to back inside the game. If we were performing the same performance as against DV, I think like worst case scenario we would get them to game 5. We wouldn't lose 3-0.
Mhm.
That I'm confident, like 100%.
Okay, so it was just a bad
But
day.
I don't know if it was a bad day, but like we extremely underperformed. I can tell you like from the scrims and everything, like it was very like it was not the normal us playing. Like it's obvious that the mistakes that was happening, like either like we were too scared to go, or we were too too focused on too like tunnel visioned on just killing someone, and something is happening in the background. Yeah, it was just weird. Like everyone wasn't as on their A game.
Okay, so basically you were expecting to win before playing EGZ. You were
Yeah.
confident.
We were
Yes.
expecting it to be
Easier.
almost a bit easier than than DV, and we had a plan to like. I mean, honestly, like kudos to them. I don't know if they figured this plan out or did they just ban it out just in case. So the plan was, I don't know if you know this. Like before Split 3 began, I was just playing like mostly I was playing jungle, and my main champion was Fiddle, and it was kind of almost permabanned. Like after the first 2-3 games I played, it was almost permabanned. So then when I rerolled to support, I played Janna like I think 4 or 5 games against DV, like Janna back to back.
5 games.
So at that time, I knew 2 champions like on a very good comfortable level. So the coach was like, okay, so now what they're going to be doing is most probably they're gonna be like expecting like a Janna pick to. Or they're gonna ban Janna. So like after because after the preseason started, like ever since I think I only played Fiddle only 2 or 3 games completely, like the entire preseason. So we weren't expecting them to ban Fiddle as well. So what the plan was, I would be going jungle Fiddle, and if that worked out, they would just get lost in the draft. So they have to ban Fiddle and Janna, and they wouldn't know what Chimpanzee would play in jungle. Like let's say if he has Zac, if he has Leona, if he has Nautilus. But apparently from the first game they just banned Fiddle and Janna, and our plan went down the drain. So yeah. It was funny to.
5 head.
I mean, to be honest, yeah, exactly. They 5-head us. I don't know if they were if they were expecting it, but it's good that they actually did. So that caught us by surprise, and like we had to pull off new champion. Not totally new, but like not very comfortable on, basically.
Okay, so they outdrafted you, we can say.
Yeah.
Not drafted by surprise.
Not
I don't know
necessarily,
if
but yeah, they caught us by surprise.
Yeah.
Yes, but I can flame our coach for not banning Graves 3 games back to back. I'm gonna flame him here, I flame him there, but yeah. No, to be honest, there was a lot of champions that would clash with our style. So Graves was such a weakness, but like it was the best champion that we could leave open. But it was just like he was just so comfortable on it that he just carried almost every single game.
All right. Well, you faced Fox Gaming after that in the 3rd place, and again lost 3-0. Were you serious about that game? Were you expecting that?
Oh,
I mean, we were. If you hear the comms, I hope the comms got somehow something. But we were just enjoying the Fox game. We were just completely enjoying. I can say like we just wanted to take every skill check. Okay, then we're like, okay, if they want to come fight, we just fight this. If they want to go top, we fight that. I don't know if there was a game. My friends were in the back. Like I was at my friend's house. So my friends were at the back and they were yelling at me, why the hell are you guys not taking dragon? There was like, the game was like 25 minutes and there was 0 dragon kills. Like 0 dragon kills from both sides, 25 or 27 minutes. They're like, well, what are you guys doing? I'm like, we just want to fight. What's wrong with you? Yeah, it's just, it was more like of a fun and enjoying the game.
So it was mutual from Fox Gaming also.
I don't know, but it seemed like it.
I don't know. It was like
because you said no one.
It seemed like they're also enjoying and just fighting back.
Yeah.
What? Because I don't know why they didn't do Drake as well. Like, it's weird. Yeah, it was just weird. Like we were not playing macro. Both teams were like, at least I hope we're on the same page. But our macro was like negative. It's just fight. You know, like make the game as enjoyable. Yeah.
All right.
So like if they want to fight, take a fight. Let's see who's better. Like that. That's it. That was the Fox Gaming game. But EGZ, it was definitely them playing way better than us at that time. Like we were full serious, and I think they were also giving it their all.
Okay. Well, if I ask you now to give me a power ranking of the team participating in IEC, what would it be, including your team? Give me like the best five.
Go?
Wait, I need to think.
Okay, I can go.
I have to make it.
Can you name the top five that ended? Can you name them?
Anubis,
Okay. Wait. There's EGZ. There's Fox. There is Anubis. There is
you guys.
DV. There is Overmind, and there's us.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
It's hard to like judge based. You want to judge based of split 3 or split 2 or split 1 or overall, like the entire thing.
tournament.
If overall, it's most probably going to be Fox because they like
Yeah.
they were dominant almost like the entire tournament. And I mean, it's sad that preseason like they couldn't adapt as fast, right? So they have a clear weakness. They can't change and overcome the stuff. Or I don't know if they were scrimming as much. I honestly don't know what was going on with them, but it was obvious that there was a clear misunderstanding of the meta at the moment after preseason. Generally, it has to be Fox. Like they dominated almost every single game. Even so many games between the other teams, it was close, like against Fox. And the funniest part about Fox is like they're not known for their macro. They don't play macro perfectly. They just outplay you, like straight up. They just outplay you in every single lane and just power through the game. So that's way more like interesting to see. So like if Fox would definitely be number one. And overall, it has to be EGZ. Honestly, it's such a kudos to them that they got so far with like a semi-auto-filled mid laner, like almost auto-filled, right? Like you can say a reroll mid laner, and they got so far and like they performed so well, and so they have to be. And DV just was so bad in the start. I don't know. They started the split off so bad, but after that they caught up and they came back so strong. So it's between DV and Anubis, but the thing is, genuinely, like I'm very like proud and congrats to Anubis, but I still don't believe they won. I don't know how they won. I still don't believe they won. Like, I'm sorry, but it's such a surprise, and it's nice that they proved everyone wrong. And it's interesting that anything can happen, in a tournament like this. Literally anything can happen. So I don't know. It's DV or Anubis. I guess Anubis and then a DV because of in the ending at least. DV also was kind of. I mean, I honestly believe DV would have won the tournament if they didn't get surprised by us because they were going on such a good meta read, such meta like Galul was already playing Anivia. They were already on top of the meta before the meta was even shifting. So if they had a bit more time, I think maybe 1 or 2 more weeks, and they knew what we were going to come up with, like if they weren't caught off by surprise, they would definitely win the tournament. I genuinely think that.
Okay.
So yeah, DV's third. Actually, I don't know, DV fourth maybe, but yeah, they just fucked up.
And you guys
so
are
that's
last?
Fourth and not fifth, I guess. Yeah, I mean, like with the performance overall, you can't deny that, no?
Mm-hmm.
With the overall performance, you can't deny. But yeah,
Do you
that's
agree?
us is fifth.
Do you agree?
I can't really agree, but I have to shift DV and EGZ. I would actually put DV on the second place because, like, at the start, Fox Gaming showed a perfect consistency. They are playing the same level every single game. However, DV at the start they showed the potential of improving super fast and adapting to what will happen in the game. They never change the game plan. They don't go sideways. The game plan is just straightforward. Play the game, we scale, don't take early fights. Let's try to, if it's necessary, we can leave the first dragon, the second dragon, but the third dragon we will contest it because we don't want to play them the soul point. Yeah. What happened is they showed their game plan and they just played it right. Other than us, we just griefed our game. We go on the game plan, we just grief it and just try to play and adapt to what happens in the game. However, DV played it super straightforward. The game plan is just obvious how they want to play the game. We don't want to take early team fights. We just want to try to scale and win the game by scaling. And that it showed by their champs you could know that. EGZ, I think they had some upsets, so I don't think they showed much improving from the start. So I think on that time, during this time, I think DV, the potential of them just improving by week and week, they would have just overcome EGZ. I think this is what makes me like putting Aegis in the third place. Other than that, like it's Anubis and us, I guess. Like Aegis and then Anubis.
So
That would be like
Anubis is
my ranking.
fourth place. Meanwhile, they were
Yeah.
the one who won the tournament. Okay.
It was
That's the
shocking.
thing. So
To be
it's such
honest.
I think if you ask anyone, they would probably give almost the same idea about Anubis because they were so out of the place throughout the entire like tournament, and only they came together in the semifinals and like
Yeah.
finals. And it was such a surprise, and I don't know, it was such a weird thing to see them like perform so well against EGZ. And I also think that EGZ underperformed. So it's
Yeah.
it's such a congrats to them, and such like it's so nice they can prove a lot of people wrong. It's nice.
Yeah.
Because the thing is that behind the scenes we have also been scrimming some of the teams, and Anubis didn't seem strong at all. Like we genuinely thought if we were against, so we got sixth, I think, in split 2. Did we get sixth?
Yes.
Yeah, we were actually hoping to get Anubis.
Yeah, we were hoping to get fifth to go against Anubis. We were like genuinely hoping. Like we knew if we were against Anubis, we'd have a way higher chance. But apparently, like it was so weird. Man. I don't know. Yeah, it was interesting. Because also in this, I don't know if they were testing or trying out in scrims, or like they were still getting to know each other in the split 1 and split 2. But it just seemed like a different, different team overall. To be honest, like a lot of the effort and everything, like a lot of the success comes to their mid laner. The mid lane swap is very like vital to them. They got that cry, right? Yeah, I think that's the player, and I think that like helped them a lot. I think he's the shot caller as well. So it makes more sense how they became from like a A tier to an S tier team.
Yeah. So now that IC is over, what did you like and dislike about the tournament from start to finish?
I mean, to be honest, I'm really amazed by all the staff, and I'm like super happy that because it's almost the first time that there's a MENA tournament that's this big on this scale, and it's being to be honest, like comparing it to the other tournaments that even were as big or sponsored by other people, it wasn't as organized as this. It was organized, but there's way longer to go to make it perfect, right? Like nothing was perfect. It was amazing for the first try, but I think they'll learn a lot from like having us to play on a pre-patch. That's a very like it shouldn't ever happen. We shouldn't ever have to play on a pre-patch. Having so much problems with like
should never be allowed.
Some champions are just like when we go on the, let's say the worlds that you've watched was on a patch, and we were on a different patch, and we were on the same patch, sorry, at that time, but the champions that was available in our, like any champion that comes out, they would be available in IC. Like literally, let's say if this Wednesday they released, I don't know, Samira is available next week. So like what's happening? That's not professional at all, and it doesn't show. I mean, it shows how much you can surprise someone. It doesn't show how good you're at the game, or
Yeah.
So I mean, if they follow the same format of LEC or LCS or something like that, it would be way better. But honestly, they did such a good job, like maintaining the whole thing and not letting it fall apart. It's amazing. Honestly, they did an amazing job. The most thing I would like is to make it MENA based, like not UAE residents or like Lebanon residents or Saudi residents. To make it a MENA thing, like so every team, because you can see how much problems it created. Like for EGZ, for Anubis, they had to reroll. Us even, like we had almost 2 rerolls as well. It was crazy. Like Anubis had San as their mid laner, which is an ADC main at the first split. So even EGZ had Ajwad, or like they kept experimenting with different things. And I don't even know. There's another team, Knockout Esports. There was a lot of teams that were like mixed up, and like it wasn't the. So you can't show the level of MENA without having everyone on their main role and being on the same level. The thing is that if there were enough players, which right now there's not, maybe 2 years down the line they can do this. If there's enough talent and enough players in each country at their own, then you can do this. But also, like if they're thinking about trying to make it like America or like Europe, you can be any resident and you can go to ULCS. Like you can be any resident from Europe. So it doesn't make sense that we were specific and they're open. That's why it doesn't make sense at all to make it. I mean, it was more fun because it made it like rivalry between countries. It was way more fun. It was like the fans got together and started cheering. Okay, we're against Egypt today, or Yeah. So backing their country, just like football or something like that,
Yeah.
But then there can be a national league for that. There can be a different league for that, the national team or whatever.
Yeah.
But in general, I think it's way better to make it just like anyone from any MENA region being able to play. Also, to be honest, because of COVID, there was a lot of complications. I know some players that they were outside and they couldn't play. Some players traveled outside and they couldn't play inside. To be honest, I'm saying it out loud. It was unfair that I'm not sure, but I heard that Galul was playing from London on 20 ping, and that just sounds unfair. I'm not sure.
I
But
don't
that's what I
know.
heard.
I don't know.
Yeah, okay, I
I
don't know as
know.
well, but I've heard
Maybe
that.
it's a rumors.
So that like there's things that I just wish there's a MENA. Just make a MENA server. That's it. Easy. Make a MENA server. Not very
Yes,
easy.
Riot. We'll see. I don't know.
Give us
I know,
our
right?
50 ping, please.
No, but you guys,
Yeah.
I truly respect the fact that you played with such a bad ping the entire tournament
Yeah.
and made it this far.
What's the
It's
thing on Morocco?
60 60
Ouch.
from 50 to like 100. If you have bad ping, it will be
100.
like 100, 80, 90. But if you have good ping, you will have 50, 60. It depends how much
50
you
is
play.
amazing. 50 is actually just playable. It's perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
I think what makes it hard, like in 140, that you have to predict stuff. You can't
Oh,
react. Like if you react,
It's extremely
you're
hard to
just
react to stuff. Like,
you're just one step behind. If you are trying to react, if you try to predict, you're one step ahead. I think that's like
so I'll tell you,
what taught us a lot. I think how to
the
be like
players
one
in
step ahead of a player.
exactly like what he just said. The players like here, I think, like example, let's say like a Malphite ult, right? Let's say if you're not expecting a Malphite ult from nowhere, you can just like instantly just like get scared and flash it out. Like if you're in a lower ping. Us, we have to think, okay, a Malphite might be ulting us, so
Yes.
our finger should be on flash before he's even ulting. Our finger
Yep.
should be on flash. We can't move our finger from like a finger from R or from E to flash to just react to it. So we have to be predicting, like expecting it, not predicting, expecting it to be able to react to it. That milliseconds changes a lot. Trust me, like it's a huge deal.
Yeah. So guys, what does your family think about this pro gaming career of yours?
Champaz, you wanna go ahead?
Oh, I think at the start, like I always wanted to play as a pro. Like when I was 14 or 13, was like my brother used to play tournaments, and I used to go watch him. So
League tournament?
my theory, yes, league tournament. He actually played against Alimo. I think he remembers him. Like when I was young, I was watching him. Like I'm watching other players like grow, everything. For me, it was like, why I can't be the one who plays? Like, am I just one step behind, or what? So from that day till now, I'm just trying to grow as a player and show potential to hopefully get I would say like a chance to go and show my own skills and my potential in league. But like I think before IEC, like in the MENA region and our region, basically UAE region, locally, it was like just a hobby, going to tournaments, playing league, going back and like winning is first place or second place. Like mostly our rivals was like Alimo and his team. We used to be rivals, me and Alimo. But if no one knows. So it was just a hobby for me, just going to tournaments, playing it, and just going back as a hobby. But when IEC started, okay, when we qualified, I think my family realized like, okay, this is now maybe it's a serious thing. So my brothers actually were supporting me. Like as I said in DV game, they were. I think all of them took the day off because like they stayed awake for me like for 5 a.m. and trying to tell me what did you do, Miss. Like basically my brother is just semi-pro, you could say. So he was telling me what did you do wrong and what's that. So I think I would give them credit for like helping me on my mental as a player. Like I think when you go out to best of 5 games and you go to the 5th game, you'll be exhausted because the pressure and intensity of the games. But like with my brothers, I think it just helped me way too much.
Okay.
So props for them for helping me.
That's nice. How about you, Animo?
I mean, I don't know if you've ever met more Middle Eastern parents than mine. They're all over against it. Like at start, they're like, "What are you doing? Well, where are you going?" So all my life, I would used to spend half my day in a net cafe. Like it was just routine, either playing RuneScape, World of Warcraft, League, yeah, every game you can name it. Okay, so I was born into it, like from the very get go, and they were always not against it. They're like, okay, what are you doing? One day I was like, I don't know, they call it, what do you call the people who don't eat too much? I mean, can't eat. There's
Picky,
a thing for it.
picky
There's
people.
a certain thing. Anyway, so I was like extremely thin to my bones at the time. That I didn't. I used to forget to eat while playing
Anorexia?
sometimes.
Anorexia?
Anorexic, exactly.
Okay.
Anorexic.
Oh, okay.
At
Not a
like that was at like
pharmacist.
age 11 or something, age 11, 12. And then they forced me to eat too much, and then I became fat. And like it was all over the place. So like everything was just gaming, 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 gaming. And they were always against it. My dad's like, ah, Middle Eastern parents. They're like, even if you don't want to do anything towards like towards anything in life other than gaming, you can just get a degree for it. You know, having it is just respect. Because Middle
Yeah.
Eastern parents, I'm like, it's a waste of time, it's a waste of money. Just give me the money, I'll invest it. Don't worry, I'll make better use of it. Anyways, yeah. So we came to a conclusion. They got into a phase that they let me do whatever I want, but they basically advise me, like they say this is this, this is that, this is that. But they're basically saying this is fire. You want to touch it, you can go ahead and see how it feels. That's what they say. They won't hold my hand and remove my hand from the fire. That's how after like I think grade 11. Yeah, grade 11. Before I graduate, they were like that. Before I graduate school, at least, they were like that. So grade 12, I think, or grade 11, I don't remember exactly. Half the school, this was a funny part, half the school year, I just basically skipped every day. So I used to tell my parents that I'm going to school, I skipped like 6 months of school or something. I used to go to a net cafe, play League or
Don't
play
do that,
WoW or play
kids.
whatever.
Don't do that.
Never do that. It was never worth it. I got into a lot of trouble. Yeah, it's the worst idea. Trust me. If you want to play it on your different time. It's such a headache. I mean, the consequences are so much worse than the fun you have at that time. But anyways, we just made some like it was a drama. We made something like I was sick and I don't know what, and they're like, okay, if you were sick, and I'm like, I was studying at home. That was my excuse, but I wasn't at the time. So like, okay, if you were studying in this, you have 1 week to do all the exams that we went through. And luckily, somehow, I passed everything and just graduated. Yeah, it was a weird thing.
Smurfing.
I graduated with I think B plus. Yeah, it was actually smurfing. It was so weird. Yeah. It was a fun time, but I got into a lot of trouble, and it was definitely not worth it. Definitely not worth that extra 4 hours of the day playing League or playing whatever. Yeah, no. I mean, yeah. Anyways, so after that, I just started playing and doing whatever I want and enjoying and slowly like trying to make money on the side a little bit or something like that. So they were just supportive to whatever I do. Supportive as in not telling me you do it, go for it and this, but they would let me do whatever I want. And after this IEC thing happened, like after we got with Galaxy Race and everything, my dad is still like saying that, are you sure you want to continue this? I mean, it's your life at the end of the day, and I don't know what. Are you sure there's a future in it? If you think there's a future and there's, if you have a plan down the line, you can go ahead. It's perfectly fine with you. But it was very tough getting them into this mental state. It was like a
Same.
fight and some broken water bottles maybe, and I'm just kidding. Yeah, some water splashes maybe here or there. But yeah, it was a fun ride, to be honest. Everyone has, the tough parts of their life, the fun parts of their life,
Yeah,
the
definitely.
emotional part. That was the tough part of trying to convince them.
So,
So yeah,
so like, what advice would you give to players who want to follow this path?
I mean, and try to put yourself out there from an early age. At least like when you're, let's say when you're going to school, when you're going to university or whatever. Like you're below 20, right? It never hurts to make your hobby your like a side thing. Even though if you don't make anything from it, just make a YouTube channel, make a Twitter, like post something. If you get to masters when you're young, when you're like maybe 15, maybe you're 17, maybe you're 18, you post about it on Twitter, on Instagram, on whatever. Just put yourself out there. I regret, like I was so anti social media, like I hated social media. Like anyone who says, I used to text by the way on phone, not on WhatsApp. I used to text people on phone. Yeah, like this was when I was 18. I was against it. I was that rebellious kid and everything. So I regret so much. Like I made my Twitter as soon as we joined GXR. So it's such a waste of
Potential.
waste of opportunity. You know, it was maybe like ego getting the best of me or something. I don't know. Something was like getting the best of me at the time. But try to put yourself out there, and slowly but surely, like especially this is you can see this as more of, you know, like football right now, basketball, all this. The
On
future,
my
maybe
back.
in 10 years or so, it's going to be League of Legends, Dota 2, CSGO. People are going to be more like this. So it is obviously a way you can go. It is a profession you can look at. But make sure you have something else in life, because not everyone is so lucky. Like when you hear one story about this, there's 100 different people who failed and who didn't go to school or university and who regret it right now. Obviously have a backup plan, but always put yourself out there. Always like have a hobby, you know, if you're playing League of Legends, you like it a lot, keep playing it, enjoy it, post about your achievements, try to get as high as you can, take it serious, you know. If you want to play it for fun, play it for fun. But if you want to make it as a career, always like try to make other people realize that you're out there, you know, you're there to be grabbed. Because so many organizations right now, even in MENA right now, they're getting like an academy team and they're hiring as many young talent as possible. Like if you're 16 and you're a master or something like that, if you're famous enough to, not even famous, if they can reach out to you through whatever, let's say if you have 500 followers, oh, okay, this guy has 500 followers. Who is he? You know, you go to his profile, okay, he's a master player. He just got random followers from solo queue or whatever. So they'll reach out to you, and like the best way is just to put yourself out there and play as much as you can. Can is the key word, not make time for playing.
Okay.
I mean, in the end of the day, after playing League so much, I realized that after a certain time, if you play, it just hurts you more than it helps you. Like, let's say if you have like, I don't know, like, let's say average games of I used to play a day was like 10 games a day at that time. And like after the 7th game, I would just be so pissed off at my team. And like the 8th game, I'd just go in it just to annoy my team, not just to play the game, just to make sure they feel how I feel. So don't waste your time doing dumb stuff like that. You know, just go relax, take a 5-minute break, drink water, and that's it. Call it a night. You will learn way more if you like spend quality time.
Okay.
Time is important, but make it quality time, not, you know, just playing the game just to pass time or whatever. Make sure you learn what you're doing. Make sure you don't replay. You know, you don't go on a loop of doing the same exact mistake. And just think, like, let's say example, like when you're buying an item, why am I buying this item? Like when you're buying Ninja Tabbies, why the fuck are you buying Ninja Tabbies if there's 5 AP against you? You know, just think about it. Don't waste your time just doing the same thing on autopilot. That's
Kinda
I think that's a
But
way.
yeah. How about you, Shampanzi? What advice would you give?
I got disconnected, so I didn't hear the question.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Oh, you got disconnected?
Yes.
Sorry. The
It's like-
question was, what advice would you give to players out there who want to be pro players like you guys and want to follow this path overall?
I think just don't do my mistake. Don't be very social awkward. Because like I never tried to be in social media, and I just never used it. I think just try, as Alimo said, just try to put your name out there. Like for me, like I never took League serious. Just know what you want. Like from your beginnings. Like for me, I played like League from season 1. I never took it serious until like season 9. Okay, I realized, oh, remember you said that you want to grow as a player and show potential to everyone, but you never took the game serious. So at that season, I took the game very serious, and I think I peaked master in that season. But like I wanted to play in a team, so I found like at the start I found Paragon, and it was not an org, but a small like team or a clan, I would say. We put together, and like we played I think 2 to 3 tournaments together, and I think 2 actually, and the third was my IAC and with Galaxy Racer. But like I think Alimo would never knew me if I never like went to tournaments. Like I was just in the house just playing League, locking my door and just playing League and never going out in tournaments or anything. If you think like you have a potential and you know that you can grow as a player, just give yourself the opportunity of going out and showing other players like your own skills. And one thing that like if you think like playing 4 games is like at your best condition, just play 4 games. like after the fourth game, you'll just start autopiloting and doing mistakes, and these mistakes will become a habit of you. So people will know, like, okay, you do this mistake, so okay, I'm gonna punish you by because you are doing this mistake. So just don't autopilot. When you feel like you are autopiloting, just don't play. Just stop playing and move on. Even if you have if you lost, especially I think like if you lose 3 games in a row, just stop playing. Even though like okay, you are chill. Like for me, okay, I'm a chill. I don't care if I lose, but deep down, I know that I'm tilted that I lost all the 3 games. So just after losing like 3 games, just stop. Just stop playing. Take a break. Oh,
I think he's trying to.
I'm not gonna.
I mean,
this guy dropped me from
the worst person to play with. I played Dookie with Chimpanzee. I made sure he has the worst time
he
of his life.
dropped me from master.
You understand how I just said that? So remember how I said that if you get tilted, just stop playing, go take a breather. So I didn't know this before. I thought just power through it. Okay, so I used to go to the 5th game after being 4 games tilted back to back. One guy just does something to trigger me. I mean, it's just it's a mental state I'm in right now as well. But I'm trying to slowly improve it, right? So one guy does something to trigger me purposely, and League is a very bad game to play if you don't want people to trigger you. Everyone wants to trigger you, right? No one cares about your personal feelings. No one gives a shit about who you are. So if you're having the worst day of your life or the best day of your life, they're gonna throw shit at you, and you have to just swallow it and smile back, basically.
Indeed.
Anyway, so we go to the 5th game or something. I'm like, okay, you wanna trigger me? Okay, let's see who can trigger who more.
Oh.
And then we went on a streak with Chimpanzee. Chimpanzee was there on the call with me, just, Limo, how are you? Are you fine? Is everything okay? I felt so bad the next day. Oh my god!
From master 90 point to D1.
I think I demoted them from master to D1
Yes.
at that time. Yeah, it was funny. It was a fun experience. I mean, it's we all go through it. We have to learn it, but at our own pace. But definitely, those games after that 4th game did nothing other than lose me elo. That's all I can tell you. When you're really tilted, it's enough. Just put it aside. If you're really tilted, but some people can take 7 losses back to back and just be normal, completely normal. But I'm not that person. And if you feel like you're mad, and obviously when you don't have so much control over your own emotions. So don't make a decision when you're mad. Don't go into that next solo queue game. Just go to the toilet, wash your face, go drink water, and now you feel better. If you want to play, you can play. If you don't want to play, you can do whatever you want. Go watch a series, go watch an anime. Yeah.
So anything you guys would like to tell your fans out there?
Oh, I have one tip. If you have a Limo in your game, don't take his Raptors.
He's gonna run it down.
Yes, he will.
No, that is illegal. I never has ran it down in my entire.
No,
I've
don't
never done
do
that. No. I'm a very good. I just come and help you shove your wave a couple of times. I just take control over your lane. Yeah, that's what I do. Anyways, nah. But honestly, it was such a such a wild experience, and there's so many people. Maybe there's 100 different people I personally got to know by this tournament, and it was such an amazing experience. Being with Galaxy Racer and all that. And I don't know. There's so many people that were so amazing and so good at League and that I've never heard of before. And it was such a good opportunity, to meet them. And I thank everyone that doubted us, especially because it just added fuel to the fire. It helps. Okay, so this guy thinks I can't. Well, okay, just wait. I'll show you. It's way more. Fans always keep you there, and the haters make you become better. So I thank for both the fans and the haters. But it's such a blessing to be in the IAC and in the Galaxy Racer, and as a team, honestly, it's we just grew as a family more. We got to know each other. We got to know what sleep schedule is like. We got to know each other's mood. It was just like living with a new brothers, something like that.
Yeah.
It was such a good experience, and I would really like to thank the coaching staff. They really put a lot of effort, and they did such a good job. And I would like to thank all the players for putting the effort, and even with the role swap, with the last minute team, with another we had a different top laner in split 1, and we swapped it to a different top laner in split 2. There were so many complications that I can't even get over right now, but we overcame that and at least got a place that, even though it wasn't the goal, but it's something, you know, at the end of the day. But obviously from here it's only up. There's no
No
other
going down.
road other than
Yeah.
going up, and yeah, that's it. I'm very thankful also, like this is, I should say this out loud. I'm very thankful for my girlfriend because I was on the bridge of not ever playing League professionally again because I just saw it as, I didn't see it as a future. I didn't see like myself being an esports player. But after that girl gamer and like she had a talk with me, she's like she inspired me basically. Yeah, that's I think if she wasn't there, I wouldn't be playing League anymore because I quit for a good like 1 year before that. So yeah, that's probably the only reason I've been playing still.
Shout out to Alimu's girlfriend.
Madiha, her name is Madi.
Oh, I love her. She's the best AD carry.
Oh, I know she is. She's the captain of the MENA
I
girl
didn't know
team.
she was the captain. I just know her that she's the best AD carry, like female in Middle
Oh,
East. Yeah.
I couldn't agree less.
Well, thank you guys so much
Champagne.
for joining me today. Shampoo, do you want to say anything?
I think Adim just said everything here. Like just without, I think without the fans and the haters, we could have like
Exactly.
we won't beat DV. Like I think for me, like when we tried to play against DV, it was like, okay, I just want to prove everyone wrong, and just win. Just because like I have the mentality, just want to prove like everyone wrong and win the game, and hear what they will say, like basically. And oh look, we created an upset. It did work because like without them, I think without the haters, we couldn't push ourselves more. With their like, it's not hate. I won't say it's hate, but like
Doubters.
them doubting us, it just helps us more, just to improve. Like I would think like without the doubt, we would like put the same effort. With the doubt, we placed like 4 times the effort that just we want to win. So that I think helped us a lot. And to our fans, just like believing in us, like since day one, it was so great.
All right.
It really
So-
warms our heart, at least,
Yeah.
like seeing someone go on a post and say, no, Galaxy is going to win, even though there's like 100 different players saying
Yeah.
that no DV is winning. So it makes the fan that much more precious, you know?
Yeah.
It's like not being with the norm, not being with the crowd, it takes effort, you know? It has to be a real fan.
Yeah.
So you know everyone is
Yeah.
real. You know, these are the OGs.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me today. It was an honor having you. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.